They are trying to cover up what they did to me and then find a reason to kill. I'm pregnant and everybody tried to kill me in my home for my son. Then Austin John Ritter tried to kill me for my son. He was attacking my son, actually. And he wanted my identity in my home and everything. He had just got released from prison, and the Conroe police, Cynthia O'Vera and Joseph O'Vera, and the entire city of Conroe were conspiring to kill me, to give the young white man my life when he got out of prison. He was my child father, and he was abusing me for years from the beginning of the relationship. But they wanted the black woman to suffer for what he did. So they were all trying to murder me while he was in the prison. And he was trying to do it as soon as he got out. And saying that his mother and his father, Joseph O'Vera and Cynthia O'Vera, that they wanted to give him my apartment and my life. My name was on the lease, and he kept attacking me in my home. I ran in the street with my baby. He was attacking him too. And he was attacking me in the street by my home, and nobody would help. They were watching. A white woman said she was going to call 911. So he ran, and I went to a restaurant nearby. He had started attacking me in the restaurant and then attacking my baby, and there was a man that worked there who I asked to call 911 when I went in the restaurant holding my baby. He called 911. He was involved in the struggle when Austin came in attacking us. I had shot my gun in the air, and I shot Austin while he was attacking my son after I had called the police several times in my home. And they were refusing to arrest him, and he was fleeing from the police in my vehicle. Cynthia O'Vera came to the scene and took my baby boy away. He was 22 months old. And then the police took me away pregnant to my death. They charged me with all sorts of false charges after they brought me to the police department and said that they weren't charging me. They said they were going to try me in front of a grand jury. Then they brought me to the Montgomery County Jail. They put me in units with racist white women who tried to fight me. Then they drugged me to the back of the jail in the segregated housing units. They lied about my pregnancy with black women, Hispanic women, and Indian women, and the entire staff. Then they started poisoning every single meal and drugging my drinks and my meals, trying to set me up as a mental patient while they were trying to find any reason to jump on me, which they did. They continue to poison me. And they continue to lie and cover up all the evidence about all the 19 911 calls and all the witnesses and all of his charges and the fact that they had already been conspiring to murder me, to give him my child and my home while he was in prison and when he was released. They kept me back there for 10 months, poisoning me and my baby. They had the entire infirmary lie. The Conroe Regional Hospital lied after a nurse confirmed my pregnancy in the jail with the Doppler machine and after the doctor confirmed my pregnancy. The Conroe Regional Hospital lied. I lost 50 pounds in the cell while pregnant. I was skin and bones, and when I was 8 months pregnant, my baby was the size of the palm of my hand. My hips spread. My cervix started to change. They started gassing me and spraying chemicals on me in the cell to stop my labor. They said, how are we going to keep her now? And then they took me to court. They tried to keep me and make my pregnancy expire. So they kept me for 10 months, continuing to try to murder me with poison. The poison was seeping out of my pores. The male inmates, white, black, and all ethnicities, they were all giving me the poison trays. And the white women were giving me the poison trays. I tried to call my family, but they did not care. They were calling Cynthia and Austin to try to be on their side while I was in the back of the Montgomery County Jail where they were trying to murder me before the trial. They never brought me to a trial. I kept saying I plead not guilty, but they would not bring me in front of the courtroom to say what charges they were charging me with so that I could plead not guilty. My lawyer, Inger Chandler, kept resetting my court date for every 3 months, and they kept putting me back in the back and poisoning me back there. She gave me a piece of paper to sign. I believe it was in May. I was arrested September 2018. He was released from prison July 10, 2018. He was attacking me the entire 8 weeks I was in the home. The Conroe police would not get him out of my home, and he kept fleeing from the police. I signed the piece of paper saying I plead not guilty. They tried to go into my cell and look for the paper where I pled not guilty and with the charges. Officer D. Strider, a black man, falsified the entire police record when they arrested me. He typed up a falsified police report saying that Austin Matter never attacked me. He never mentioned anything about anyone calling 911 or any witness, or even the fact that the witness said he was attacking my son. He admitted that the witness said he was being stupid with my baby and that the witness statement was matching up with what I said when we were at the police department. But then the detective came and they called the district attorney and decided they were going to change the story to make Austin seem like he had not attacked me. They kept me back there poisoning all of my meals. And the commissary woman was a white woman, and Miss Morales, and they started poisoning all of my commissary. And then I was eating it, and then I tell there was something knocking me out after I would eat it. I complained about it. They refused to give me a doctor and continued to poison me. They continued to hide all the evidence, and investigator Jim McDougal said he was assigned to my case. I was telling him about all the times Austin was abusing me and telling him about my medical records, telling him about when he was abusing me in the hospital, telling him about when he was abusing me when 9 months pregnant and my dad had to fight him, telling him about all the 911 calls, telling him that he just got out of prison, and telling him about his charges, and Jim McDougal was going back to Inger Chandler and they were trying to get rid of the evidence. He even went to the crime scene to reenact the scene, and he came back and told me that he knew I had a good witness and it was the fault of the Conroe police. But the police were intimidating him, and maybe he just wanted to be cool like everybody else. They were also doing witchcraft and satanism on me in the cell and drugging me with hallucinogens to try to make me go crazy, to say that I was a schizophrenic. Then they released me on August 22nd, 10 days before my trial had been set to September 3rd, 2019. They tried to get me to accept time served, but I said that I would not because I knew that I was not guilty. The fetus was still moving in my body. I told a man that came to visit me named Sterling that they put up to coming to visit me to try to make it seem like I was pregnant by a black man. Then I went to the trial. Well, I went to the pre-trial, and they dropped the charges for lack of sufficient evidence to